Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so today we're going to finish up with the last of our regions, our subregions of
Middle America.
Middle America. Yeah, great. So this is the realm of Middle America that we're still on. And we will start with the subregion. We've already covered Mexico. So let's go ahead and move on into the 7 republics. So always we figure out, why is this a subregion? So obviously, these 7 republics are part of a land bridge, or what we call an isthmus. They are republics that were colonized first by Spain in the Spanish conquest, and then the United States, which is very close right here. This is the US's backyard. And so during the Spanish-American War, at the close of the war, what year around was that, close of the war? 1899? Yeah, 1898, 1899, because that was roughly when Guam was taken by the U.S. from Spain. Well, also, these became independent, and the United States did retain Puerto Rico, and Cuba became independent, and these 7 republics became known as banana republics for the most part because the U.S. had banana plantations. Only one of them is known as a coffee republic. Do you know which one that is?
El Salvador.
Yes, El Salvador. Good. So let's go ahead and just take them one by one. And again, we'll have to whip through them pretty quickly. I could spend a lot of time on these, but we'll just try to pick out the biggest attributes. And as a whole, the 7 republics do have a lot of instability. There's drug trafficking that is becoming a big problem, cartels coming up from Colombia, and we know too that the traffic would continue on through Mexico because the consumers are basically the United States. So let's start with Guatemala. So Guatemala is the center of the ancient Mayan kingdom and culture hearth. And unfortunately, as in a lot of these, there's been a lot of instability when the colonial powers leave, then there's a power vacuum, and so there was a horrible civil war where many, many Mayans were killed. And even today, Mayans are not really in charge of their government there and remain very poor for the most part. But during this very rough time, there were a lot of these countries, people of the U.S. and other world travelers were advised to stay away. A lot of civil wars, just a lot of terror and killing going on. During the Civil War, 200,000 people just disappeared. Many have been found later in cenotes. They're underground caves in the karst system, used for storing water and foods, but bodies had just been put in there, so really brutal and horrible. And many, many were Mayan because they were accused of housing people in the wrong side in the Civil War, basically, and so killed. So that was very tragic, but this is a favorite place for expats to move today. Many places in Guatemala are very beautiful and cultural. And how about Belize? Belize, known as British Honduras, because the British did settle there. English was spoken there, and it was a pretty easy place to go to travel. I do have some travel photos. I really love Belize, and there's some beautiful islands off the coast. It's also known for offshore banking. Offshore banking is something that's pretty big in the Caribbean, so Belize is a center for that. English isn't spoken as much anymore as more and more Hispanic peoples move in there. So now we have Honduras. So what about Honduras? Do you remember the name of that hurricane in 1998 that pretty much wiped out Honduras and the farmers there and the agricultural community and lands? Mitch, yes, Hurricane Mitch. And even the reefs offshore, beautiful reefs offshore, were destroyed. Tourism, everything. So it's taking a long time to dig back. Somebody else gave me a statistic on the murder rate. Wasn't it the highest murder rate in the world? Yeah, so that's true. Again, a power vacuum left terrible civil war there and for the people, and even lots of struggle that continues on today for the people trying to gain some stability and quality of life there for themselves. But very beautiful there too. All of these places are very beautiful. Again, El Salvador, here, Coffee Republic, higher, cooler, more densely populated than anywhere else. This is the only one that just has a Pacific side. Belize is the only one that just has a Caribbean side. The rest of them have both. How about Nicaragua? That was where the United States got involved in a lot of these civil wars, and of course the United States did not want communism in its backyard. There was the Monroe Doctrine, a real push for the U.S. to be involved in policies. And here, I believe in Nicaragua, there was that whole Contra affair with the Nicaraguans. I believe that the rebels were the ones that were against the communist government, and so the United States actually aided the rebels by providing guns and ammunition and support to the rebels in Nicaragua. So lots of instability and issues there. But another hugely beautiful place. Costa Rica has some of the highest living conditions in Central America. Lots of expats moving there. A very good choice because the dollar gets stretched when buying a home and also for cost of living. However, all of those people moving there, they move there for the beautiful rainforest, the beautiful diversity there, because Costa Rica has a lot of intact rainforests. It's very beautiful. And there's a lot of ecotourism. So all of these things are very attractive to newcomers. And yet, once they get there, of course, there's a demand for housing and amenities and entertainment and toilets and sewage systems and lots of other things that weren't there. And so the rainforest gets taken down. So the very thing that they've come for, the beautiful rainforest with all of its diversity, is taken down. And we've talked a lot about deforestation. And here in Guam, it's true too, especially in the southern part. If you take down the rainforest, that slippery kind of clay-like soil, it just doesn't grow back. So we're all hoping, the Costa Ricans are trying to stop this takedown of their rainforest. So how about Panama? There's that famous Panama Canal, right. And the United States, of course, was very involved in the building of the canal, and it takes many, many, many dollars, foreign dollars, to help build that canal. But now the U.S. Is becoming, is still a partner. Of course, that canal is a place that allows the passage of ships, and so also it attracts crime. There's also an issue with inequality there. Some people are very, very rich from canal dollars and also from all of the activity that comes with it, and yet the majority of the population in extreme poverty. Yeah. So there's that real problem of inequality there. And the canal is where most of the people live. And again, the GDP being the highest of the 7 republics is a little deceiving, because the GDP might be very, very high, but it's basically in the hands of very few people. So, and a lot of foreigners, truth be told. Okay, so that's the 7 republics. We'll have to wait till next time to talk more about the other couple of regions that we have, sub-regions that we have left. Thank you.